One time.
Ali. Come down. Come here. I'm back. Let's go, man. No go, hello. Hey. Voilà, il a masse. Hey, let's go. Nice one. Go, Lord Rose Band, Daddy. What time? Let's go. Mama. One time. Let's go. No. I'm passing you, Mama. You. Come on, I saw Yellow. Touchy. Touch. Go. No,
welcome here on the show, 360 Sport on Trust TV. Adeni Aji Shafer. Always good to promote our own. Looking at those ladies there, Nigeria Tales doing their business. As we know, the NWFL will be starting today across Nigeria. It's a season where the ladies want to showcase a lot of talent and want to see who will be scooping the NWFL for this particular season. Big one happening today across the nation. All right, now we know that the big news came on just yesterday night. That has to do with CHAN, African Nation Championship, where CAF, well, right as we speak right now, that event that's supposed to start from 1st of February has been postponed to August due to issue of infrastructure development. They want to make sure Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania are able to get all the facilities that they need for this event to at least be at their best. CAF announces postponement of CHAN 2025 tournament. That came actually featured in yesterday. The news actually featured yesterday, and it was like, what? Well, though a lot of people were expecting this to happen, considering the fact that Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania seems not to be ready. They just have to put everything in place ahead of this competition. Remember, they will also be hosting the next AFCON, so they want to make sure everything is put in place ahead of this particular event. Right now, our team, although they are yet to be removed from the camp, talking about our CHAN Eagles, as we speak right now, they are still in the Ikene where they are training. But as it says, they won't be playing for now. At least they will just be training before they will actually send them away for the event that will be coming up in August. Right now, CAF deeming it fit to quickly announce that although the draw will be coming up today for all the teams participating, they will know their foes, and we just so that Nigeria will do get a team that at least they can easily beat. Let's use that word. But really, any team that is facing Nigeria right now, our teams actually, they are ready according to the CHAN players. They can do this, and they are not just going to be a bystander there. They want to also achieve. With our first story that we just took, we have our guest in the house, a coach who actually has seen development of a lot of young ones across Nigeria. And if we talk about when it comes to kids football, is one of the best in Nigeria. Okay, we have Unamba Raphael is here, a coach of Revine Nuggets. Good to have you, Raphael.
Pleasure to be here, and Happy New Year.
Okay, good morning there.
As well.
Thank you. Okay, now let's talk about all the story we're looking at today, starting with the CAF announcing postponement of CHAN. Just yesterday night, it filtered in that that event has been postponed, and a lot of people are like, wow, what's going to be the effect on all the teams, all the nations participating? And now it's as if, okay, you have to delay your plan ahead for the next 6 months.
You know, I'm happy that they postponed it, and you see, African football now is something that European scouts are always coming to Nigeria, coming to other African countries to scout for players, and you know, CHAN is now beginning to get the recognition it deserves, because years back, when you talk about CHAN, nobody is taking interest because they see it as like as a flop. So I think it's a very good one from the CAF president, because we want to use this CHAN to also see how we can, you know, expose and make sure that some of our local players are getting recognition abroad, and you know, and you see this CHAN tournament is another tournament that a lot of bigger European scouts will be coming in, and hopefully that August is also a season where clubs are going for transfer windows. So I think it's a very good tactical, I call it a tactical plan. You understand?
By CAF.
Yeah, by CAF. And what doing well is what? Is it, there's one proverb that says what is what doing whatever, you know.
Say it the way you want to say it.
The truth of the matter is that I think is a good one from CAF president and the committee of African football, and I hope they don't disappoint.
Well, seriously, we just hope that our team will do well, because as it is right now, what is worth doing is worth doing well. At least we just hope that they will make us proud by the time that event comes up by August. Infrastructure development, they want to make sure Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania are ready for this event. Good one coming from CAF, although they made a statement, just a glimpse of that particular statement made by CAF. We look at what they said. Good progress has been made in Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda with the construction and upgrading of stadiums, training fields, hotels, hospitals, and other infrastructure and facilities for the hosting of a successful African Nations Championship CHAN. Well, however, the CAF technical and infrastructure experts, some of whom have been based in Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, have advised CAF that more time is required. Underline, more time is required to ensure that the infrastructure and facilities are at the levels necessary for hosting a successful CHAN that will be for this particular year. Well, that's a good one there. At least there is hope that they are trying to see how they can make it better. Talking about CHAN, hopefully it's going to spell a good one for Nigeria in this competition. Why are we talking about CHAN? We have our team right now. They are in camp in Ikenne. Newly appointed coach of Super Eagles, Eric Chell, is also there alongside the technical director of Super Eagles, talking about Gosne Guavoin Chell in Ikenne Remo camp as CHAN draw hosts today. The draw will be coming up today, and we know that the team are yet to be decamped for the fact that CAF came out with that announcement yesterday. But as we speak, the coach of Super Eagles, that's Eric Chell, alongside TD, technical director Guavon, are there to at least cheer them to see how they can fine-tune the team, because as it is, it's going to be playing a supervisory role, advise them, not the coaches. But right now, they are there in Ikeneremo.
Yeah, it's a good one that the guys are in high spirits. I saw the conversation of Rangers football coach, I think Ilechukwu, and with our legendary player, Ali. Of Canopilas, you know, the way they were interacting, it shows that there is love in the team, and I believe that these guys are going to do well, because we have the best two grassroots coach, homemade coach, the coach of Remo Star and the coach of Rangers, and these are coaches that are doing well in the African country and Nigeria at large. So with the appointment of this our new coach too, I think it's another morale booster for them, because I saw that he went to visit them with Victor Ekpeba and Austin Guavon. So I think these guys are in high spirit. I think they are good to go, and I don't see anything stopping them.
Okay, well, the fact that they are still in the camp, that shows that they don't want to just decamp them immediately after hearing that news from CAF. They sort of want, at least, according to what we are hearing, that they want to play a test match probably today, so that the coach can assess them and also give advice to Ilechukwu and Ogunmodede on this team. I think the teams are really battle ready, but something I saw one particular writer somewhere that said, okay, the effect of this postponement on the Chan Eagles, because as we speak, some players are yet to arrive the camp, and now we heard that some of these players are already trying to secure some deal abroad, although not in those big leagues, some in Albania and all that. And now it means Coach Ilechukwu and Ogunmodede will have to look for another set of players, because by the time these players move abroad, they can no longer play in the competition.
It boils down to agreements, football. Thank God that football is something that is wild. Now, going forward, as a club, if you want to sign a player, this player is representing his country. It's all about just having a mutual agreement, like, okay, after the Chan, my player is coming back to work with me. Just finalize the paperwork. It happens in football. Just look at the likes of Victor Osimhen. He was in Nigeria when Galatasaray recorded. Immediately fly to Galatasaray, did the necessary paperwork, and he came back to the squad. Then I think Nigeria was preparing for African Cup of Nations qualifier. So I don't think it's a distraction to them. And also have it in mind that there are a lot of Premier League matches that are going on. These guys can always play indoor friendly match with top teams, So I don't see that as a problem. These are professionals, and I believe they know how to manage situation like this.
Hopefully they will manage it well, because considering the fact that some of these players could actually sign a deal abroad, and then we have to look for another set of players. Though 6 months is enough, after all, according to what Coach Raphael said. They are professionals and easily they can look in. Well, after all, they are also coaches in the Nigerian Premier Football League to pick the best players for Nigeria in this competition. Well, still talking about that, NFF came up because a lot of Nigeria were already scared that maybe they will wipe them aside and bring in Erichel. But right now, NFF confirming that Ogunmodede, Ilechukwu, they will be retaining their position. Let's look at that story. Chan Eagles, Ogunmodede, Ilechukwu retains coaching role. They will actually remain as the coach of the home-based Eagles, while Erichel will be as an advisor or just supervise them and give them those handouts for them to perform well.
Yeah, I think it's a good one. It's better to bring in indigenous coach than bringing someone from outside, especially somebody who is new. Nigeria is a country whereby if you're not seeing your brothers as assistants, you won't really gel well. So I think for the coach to settle down, it's a good thing that they brought in and they still retain the 2 best coaches in Nigeria for now as his assistants. So I think he's going to excel. I think the coach, and if you look at the coach from the way he has been relating with the coaches and everyone, I saw the enthusiasm in him. He's happy, and he's privileged as well to be in this country to work, because he said he loved Nigerian football when he was a teenager.
Someone said that's a Lamba. Is it true?
I don't think it's a Lamba. Lamba is part of the business anyway.
At times, a lot of Nigerians can be so dramatic. Immediately he said that word, different graphics are coming out. Now, are you sure? Okay, who do want to love Nigeria to be the coach?
I don't think it's a Lamba. If not for the way things are, Nigeria used to be Nigeria, Cameroon, Tunisia, Egypt used to be one of the pillars.
So if you had to coach Egypt today, what would you say? You have loved to be a coach of Egypt from childhood, right?
No, I don't think Egypt is a country I would have loved to coach.
Okay, mention one.
If you're looking at the country I personally would have loved to coach, I think Morocco.
Yeah. So assuming they happen today, then you throw it to them that, okay, you love Morocco from childhood.
If there's not going to be racism, if there's not going to be ish, I'll definitely go and coach.
What's the way to go? Talking about Super Eagles, or rather the Chan Eagles there, the new coach of Super Eagles will be actually as a supervisor and also giving advice to Ogunmodede and Ilechukwu for them to do well by the time the Chan competition starts in August. Whereas it is, that event is on hold till August, but the draw will be conducted today, where we know the foes that will be facing at the competition. Now, talking about the appointment of Erichel as the new Super Eagles coach, substantive one anyway, a lot of support here and there has been coming. Meanwhile, Nigerian Football Coaches Association, led by Ladan Boso, as we speak right now, they've also rallied support for Erichel. Right now, they want to make sure he succeeds, because it's also part of them now that he has moved Nigeria as the coach of Super Eagles. This is a good one coming from you guys.
Yeah, one thing is that you see the likes of Landa Bosco, he has been the president of Nigerian coaches and with experience. So for him to even come out to play and like without grumbling, without murmuring, I think is a welcome development. And have it in mind that Nigeria is not a country that discriminates. Forget about what is happening on social media. Some people might be paid just to tarnish someone's image. But you see that particular coach from Mali, I saw the passion in him. I could remember that incident that happened when they were pouring water on his head. I felt like this guy is his brain is about to explode. But I saw the passion in him. I saw the dedication in him. I saw the hard work in him. Not just that. I think it was yesterday he visited the Chan Eagles. You saw the way he was even advising the guy. You see that this guy is ready to work and is ready to give his very best.
Okay, seriously, talking about the man, Eric Chell there, being the coach of Super Eagles as it is right now. Well, we just hope that he will do well, giving all the support he's getting from all the coaches and everyone. All hands must be on deck for him to actually triumph in all the games that he will be prosecuting alongside Super Eagles player. The Super Eagles player too, they just have to come out and do well. Some of them have been talking that they will make sure they play their hearts out. As it is, it's not too smooth looking at what they are having. 3 points from 4 matches and standing 5th on the log. It's not too smooth for our team, but we just hope that they will win all their games. For the fact that Super Eagles really they didn't start well in the competition towards this particular World Cup qualifiers, but just hope that they will do. We're still talking about the Super Eagles, and now one of the other former NFL president talking about Amaju Pinnick saying, well, missing the 2026 World Cup will be disastrous. And really, I don't know, but if you look at, even though we know it's not a birthright, but to some extent, it won't be good if Eagles doesn't make it. And looking at that particular story, it's been very disastrous because the last one we were not there. Ghana took that ticket, and now we are standing 5th on our log with just 3 points from 4 matches. We are playing Rwanda now. Oh, everything. If you look at it, it's as if, are we going to make it to the World Cup or not?
As giants of Africa, when it comes to sports generally, there is this vibe that Nigeria brings. Go to the Olympic, go to the World Cup, go to basketball, be it basketball and every other thing. There's this vibe, there's this energy that Nigeria brings in and contributes to the development of football. And also, if you look at from the Africans' angle, if Nigeria is not participating, I don't think there is always there is always awareness. When Nigeria is not in a certain tournament, you see that most of the African countries don't even show interest because they look up to Nigeria as the giant of Africa to always represent them. When it comes to football, be it World Cup, you see African teams, see Ghanaians that we are like rivalry, like big time rival. You see them supporting us. As at that point in time, we are like one. So if Nigeria is not participating, because as the giant, as teams with a lot of stars, world class players, if you're not seeing them in that World Cup, it's like a setback to African football.
I know that to some extent our brand always sells. If you look at our jersey, the kit is always kind of a big one. They are very marketable. And you look at FIFA also, always recognizing Nigeria presence. The green, white, green is always standing out one way or the other. And the vibe that we bring as a team, our supporters, you look at them on the pitch of play, the way they support their team, the trumpet, the beats. You doubt across the whole globe, the whole world, I don't think there is any supporter that is as strong as Super Eagles supporters because of the sound you'll be hearing at the stadium, and then the color of our jersey, the brand is always it's a sellout anytime. That alone, then the flair that we bring to world sport, even though we might not be winning all, but Nigeria, when you hear it, you want to, let's see, these guys are talented, they have a lot of players. That alone speaks volume. I'm talking about Super Eagles qualifying for the World Cup. According to Amaju Pinnick, it will be disastrous if you don't qualify this time around, but they will do everything possible to make sure Super Eagles get this necessary support for them to be able to make it. Aside that, Super Eagles themselves also needs to really show concentration, at least go out there and do the business, make sure the remaining games you are able to win, leave the rest for the mathematicians to begin to work it out, but make sure you win all your games and make us proud that for the next World Cup in 2026. Okay, right now let's come back home, leaving World Cup aside, let's talk about the MPFL. When it comes to MPFL, We know that it's getting better one way or the other. But to some extent, we still see some dark spot in that white cloth being worn by that particular league. And that's why MPFL organizers, so far, they've been able to at least fight against the issue of crowd, in fact, a lot of unruly behavior coming from fans, supporters, or players attacking referees, insecurity and all that. They just want to make sure they clamp down all these clubs that are actually airing. That's why we're looking at this particular stadium, because so far 17.75 million naira has been issued by MPFL this season on rule breakers. Those who actually broke the rule set by MPFL organizers so far actually have been given this particular amount of money to pay. And you look at 17,075,000 naira as the amount that has been issued so far. This is by the Nigerian Premier Football. Let's look at the breakdown for clubs that have been given this amount of money. Plateau United is part of it. Plateau United 4.75 million, that's the amount they were issued. You look at Bende Insurance, 4 million naira. Ikorodu United 3 million, Nasarawa United 3 million, Kano Pillars and Eyimba International. Looking at these, MPFL 17 million fines this season so far, just at least serve as a deterrent to others, and then deduction of 0.2 is part of it. We know that Plateau United is part of that, and the recent one made against Nasarawa United, which they have to maybe at least stand against, or let's see what happens. But so far, this is the amount of money that have been issued just to find a way to clamp down on issue that has to do with indiscipline, crowd unruly, and all that in our league.
I think it's always a painful thing coming on social media, seeing fans attacking referee, seeing players trying to beat referee. It doesn't tell good about our league. That's why I see many players don't want to play Nigerian league. And that's why I see most of the time some of these players after match they run for their life, because they knew that it's a must that fans must to attack them. And also, I think it's that time NFF need to increase the fine and see if they can be, at least the least they can find a club should be like, let's say 50 million naira, because by the time a club pays 50 million naira, because you and I know that sometimes it's difficult for club to even pay player salary, but it has really improved anyway under under the term of this man, what's it called, our president, the Gaswa Gusso, yeah, the Gusso, the NFF president Gusso. So I think that's really improved. I think if I really want NFF to, like, the least they should find a club that's, you know, any misconduct attitude, 50 million naira. Once they find you 50 million naira, I believe.
Is it 15 or 50?
50
My
million
goodness,
naira.
huh?
So from the 50 million naira, by the time they pay once or twice, I think clubs will start looking at bringing in more security to protect the lives of these players, because their life matters. You and I have seen several occasions whereby you see players bleeding from blood. A player that is passionate about football, a player with family, traveling all the way to go and play, to just to, you know, do what he loves doing most and all of that, coming back with injury, and it's just not something encouraging. They should try
but don't you think that 50 million will be too much?
It's not too much
50
for a club.
Are you see?
Because you have to eradicate all of these things.
Maybe 10 million, just to at least send them signal that we are
cheap.
not taking.
When it comes to football, 10 million is cheap.
No, what I'm saying is for as fines for this club. This is MPFA. This is not Europe. How much are they making from their brand sales?
We want the best.
I know, but for now, let's grow it bit by bit. You can actually get to that. But for now, if you are finding these clubs that, okay, because of unruly behavior of their fans or supporters, insecurity, crowd, whatever it is they are using against them for breaking the rules and regulation of the MPFL, 50 million is
I can
huge.
tell you with my full chest that some of these supporters, some of them are billionaires. They can even pay the fine. But what happened to the player that has been dealt with, or the officials, match officials that have been dealt with?
Okay.
But when you pay 50 million twice, you will feel that for body now.
I actually know where you are going.
You understand?
I'm only trying to say, okay, maybe 10 million or 15, thereabout. Because this 33 million, 4 million is making it look like
Nigeria is a rich country. Nigeria is a rich country. So I believe this I can pay.
Raphael, the issue of point deductions actually stays better, because you know that with 1 point, with 3 points, you can go places. But if that is deducted, that point pains them more than the money.
What happened to the match officials that are dealt with? Who is going to take care of them? What if they're blind? Are they going to compensate the family? What if the player slumped, or the match official slumped along the line? Are they going to compensate the family with 1 million naira? We have to look. We have to think outside the box.
Just to find a way to curb it.
Yes.
So use a big rod to
Of
actually
course.
touch all these clubs.
This is what it is.
Well, as it is right now, coming from Unamba Raphael there, talking about MPFL, we did the big stick against the clubs across board. For all those actually have been unruly in the behavior of their fans or supporters or beating up referees, thereabout, they just have to find a way to stop this, because MPF organizers are not taking it lightly with them. They want to make sure they clamp down on them and reduce this anomaly, making sure things go well in the MPF. After all, we are trying to build our league, giving a good brand name for people to come out, or rather come in to invest. Investors need to come and invest here in our league, and if you don't get it right, a lot of people will be scampered away. So we need to get it right. Supporters need to be sensitized to know that it's not a do or die affair. You don't have to win all your matches, but if your team is not performing well, you don't need to beat up anyone. Just go to your team, talk to them, encourage them, and see how they can do well. From there, let's move to women football. Women football is starting today. NWFL, Nigerian Women Football League season begins today. That's the story we're looking at right now, because all the teams have been on holiday. They've been training, they've been buying players and all that. But as it is right now, the big day is here, where all of them will see the first match of the season. Who stays top? Quickly, let's look at the fixtures for the NWFL. That will be starting. We look at Group A and B, where the fixtures will be up. Nasarawa Amazon will be playing over there at Lafayette State Stadium by 4 p.m. against Danas Ladies. Ekiti Queens at home against Heartland Queens, Oluyemeka Ode Stadium in Ado Ekiti. Conference Queens versus Raymond Star Ladies, Ayimba Stadium, City Stadium rather. You have Edo Queens, Samuel Stadium in Benin City. That's 6 p.m. That's the star match of this season, Edo Queens versus Abia Angels. Looking at this, Raphael, the star match between Edo Queens and Abia Angels. Big one.
I don't see that game as a star match. Should get size now. Edo Queens.
So look
at what they did at the CAF.
They are going to beat Abia Angels.
Championship. Abba now is a walkover now.
Seriously?
Sorry, Abia Angels, my people. But it's a walkover, and you know they have an experienced coach. They have most of the players that have played at the National Under-20, National Under-17 World Cup players with experience. Abba. I see that game at least nothing less than 4-0 or 4-1.
Well, as it is right now, 4-0, according to Unamba Raphael, they are coming from Edo Queens to Abia Angels. But just touch on the others. Nasarawa Amazon, Danas Ladies.
Very good. Danas, they are very good. But Nasarawa, with their preparation, because I watched about 2 of their match, and I have some good friends there, you know. So I think Nasarawa is going to beat Danas.
Ekiti Queens.
Dana is a very good team from Lagos.
Ekiti Queens versus Heartland Queens.
Ekiti too. Ekiti, they are trying to discover their form again. You know, Ekiti used to be one of the best premier side when it comes to women football in Nigeria. But I think it's a 50-50 game.
Well, Conference Queens of local Java versus Raymond Star Ladies. This is a match to watch, because
Conference Queen. I think that is a star match, because Conference Queen they have been outstanding for some time. You know, they have been doing well. You know, sometimes they are always there, sometimes they are always, you know, disappointing at the same time. But they have good coaches and they have good players too. But Remo, they are ready for business. I can assure you that they have been signing a lot of players, good players that I know, quality materials.
Now, talking about the NWFL starting today across Nigeria, we're looking at Group A, where matches will be at least all for grabs there. They will all be gunning for point. Danas, Ekiti Queens, Conference Queens, Edo Queens, Abia Angels, and Nasarawa Amazons. Now, let's look at Group B, where they also have their own fixtures coming up by 4 p.m. at the Adokia Messiamaka Stadium in Port Harcourt. Rivers Angels against Ibom Angels. This is the battle of the South-South teams. Ibom Angels from Akwa Ibom versus Rivers Angels, and Adamawa Queens against Niger Tels of Abuja at the Pantami Stadium in Gombe. Benue Queens versus FC Robo Queens of Lagos. Also, they'll be playing their game at Lafayette City Stadium by 1 p.m. Today. Bayelsa Queens, Delta Queens, Samson Siasa Stadium in Yenagoa. That's the place to be. Looking at this, Bayelsa versus Delta is also from South-South. Rivers Angels, Ibom Angels also from South-South.
You see the Bayelsa Queen and Delta Queen. Very tough match. Very, very tough match. Bayelsa Queen, Delta Queens. I can't predict that match. That is like Man U playing against Manchester City.
Okay.
Very tough match. FC Robo, Benue Queens. FC Robo is going to win that match. And for Adamawa Queens and Niger Rate with their experience, I think they are going to get a away win.
Okay, let's see what happened at Pantami Stadium in
Rivers
Gombe.
Angel straight win.
Are you sure?
100%.
Is it because they are playing in Port Harcourt?
Not because they have good players.
Okay, the experience is there.
Sure.
Adokia Masimweka Stadium is the place to be for those who actually love to watch women football. Go out there, support them, because it's starting today across Nigeria. All the matches that we just unveiled there for you to have a feel of what's going to be happening. 1 p.m., 4 p.m., 6 p.m. Star match, Edo Angels coming up also. There in Benin City, Samuel Ogunmodede Stadium is the place to be for all those games. Well, let the best team win. Talking about women football in Nigeria, Nasarawa Amazon, as we speak, they actually unveiled new players, about 10 of them thereabout, and also they launched new kits, new jersey. Let's look at that story. Nasarawa Amazons unveiled new players, launched new jersey. What a beautiful jersey they are. Green is the color. You look at all the teams wearing green. I always taking a cue from national teams. A beautiful one there. That's the chairperson of that team. And now let's look at the players that have been signed by Nasarawa Amazons from other clubs. They signed Ibokwe Joy from Nigeria Tels of Abuja, Etim Favor from Oyegu FC, also from Abuja, Oladiti Rukayat, FC Robo of Lagos, Ladepo Maria Tobi FC Komos of Abuja, Nwachukwu Kelechi, Kwara Ladies FC of Ilori, Otata Agnes from Miss Palace Academy in Jos, Inaneme Augusta Namaka, Sunshine Queens of Akure. We have Oduale Shola, also from Sunshine Queens. Ukam Jennifer Alex from the same club, Sunshine Queens of Akure, and you have Akere Korowe Janet from Asisa Doshoala Academy, Lagos. These 10 players have been acquired by Nasarawa Amazons. While they launched new jersey, they also have this new set of players. Watch out for that Akere Korowe Janet, fantastic player from Asisa Doshoala Academy.
And Joy Ibokwe.
Joy Ibokwe.
From Nigeria. She's also a good player.
Talking about this particular list, well, you look at Nasarawa Amazon being able to buy all these players, and they are ready to go. They want to make sure they do well this season, alongside other clubs too. They've signed so many players, and the season starts today across board. Well, wishing all the teams the best for the women football, and we just can't wait to see them doing so well. At least we are seeing a better WFL. Our league is going to be live on TV. We're talking about Women Football League right now. That's a good one coming from the organizers. I will see how they can also project women football that's live. Okay, looking at the fact that I was talking about Nasarawa Amazons right now. For the way it is, we look at the season, this particular NWFL for this season is a season that a lot of people want to see better things coming to our women league. We've been seeing men's football being displayed on the TV, but now we are going to be seeing women football also coming up on TV. People can easily watch our ladies performing, and to some extent, our league is really growing when it comes to women football.
Yeah, our league is actually growing, and I'm really happy with the development so far. But one thing I really want to urge NFF, I really want these girls to have access to the national stadium, the main bowl itself, to promote the league, to give it more standard and more quality. You know, facility and infrastructure, you know, it also helps promote our league as well. So I think I applaud what's it called, the NFF and the league organizing committee, LOC, for the good things they have been doing to see that Nigerian league is at the top level, you know.
Well, seriously, talking about women football is getting better. Talking about that because you look at so many teams. If you look at the fixtures we were looking at earlier, you just have to appreciate the fact that our league is better. The way they are playing, the ladies are getting an opportunity to actually move abroad too. So many clubs. Recently, Ilechukwu moved to the US, San Diego, and we've seen a lot of players. Deborah Abiodun signing for another team, and lots of them in Spain, in Germany, Sweden, China, doing so well. Really, women football has grown in Nigeria, and you can't take that away because if you look at it, in fact, we even have championship, the NWFL championship. That shows that really we have a lot of ladies who are beginning to see, the family are beginning to see that, okay, women can actually become breadwinner when it comes to this sport. Yeah. They are doing so well. We've seen players signing multi-million dollar deal with different brands abroad. Look at Oshoala having an academy herself One of the academy players just signed with Nasarawa Amazon. That shows that before you know it now, that academy will be getting players abroad. Aside that, we have a lot of them who are even unknown, but they are really trying their best to see how they can give back to the society, and also from where they made it, they too are trying to give back. And for the fact that the league organizers are also trying to see how they can project our league on TV. That will sell a lot, because a lot of people are like, oh wow, so this Nigerian Women League, this is good. Imagine this particular clip we are showcasing now. This is Nigerian League. You can imagine how it looks, and a lot of people are like, okay, if these are Nigerian ladies, we can go for them from Ghana, Tanzania, abroad, and all that, and it's getting better. Officiating, all the rules and regulations being followed, and the ladies too trying to get the mentorship that they deserve. And to some extent, you have to give kudos to the organizers of NWFL. We've been talking about women football in Nigeria. Today is the D-Day, as across board, all the teams are battle ready to face one another across Nigeria, and there's a big one there. Go out there, support them as we await the return of MPFL, and the women have started their own league. And it's a big one because they will also be coming out to see how they can scoop the best team of the season. Big one there has to do with the NWFL. While we talk about the women, we cross over and talk about MPFL. Well, for Enyimba, they have outstanding matches they are yet to play because of their involvement with CAF interclub competition. But as it is right now, they face Kwara United today, and that's a big match coming up. Kwara United battles Enyimba International. This is a match that they want to win because they want to make sure they close the gap against like Remo, Rangers, and also Rivers United. As it is, Kwara United versus Enyimba. Where are you standing, Coach Raphael?
I'm standing with Enyimba because Enyimba is a team I love so much. And thank God for the signing of Brownie Ideye. You know, this will also encourage other ex-internationals. You know, I call them ex-internationals because some of these guys came out from retirement just to see how they can help develop Nigerian football. So I think it's going to be a win for Enyimba with their performance last, I think, few weeks ago at the, I think, a CAF championship, which they won 2-1. A goal, I think the second goal was even scored by Brownie. They a very magnificent goal. So I think with the kind of energy in that team, they are going to beat Kwara.
What if Kwara beats Enyimba?
I don't see it happening.
Seriously? Yes. Are they unbeatable?
Any team, you can beat any team. Football is a win or lose thing, you know, and you can't even underrate any team when it comes to football. But with what I've seen so far, Enyimba is ready for business this year. Okay,
Enyimba ready for business. Because of that statement you made, that will actually take us. So let's look at how the table is after deduction of point and all that. Now, looking at this now, you look at Enyimba, they're standing 7th on the log. They'll be playing their match against Kwara United. That will make them to jump to 18 matches. They have 2 matches at hand to play. They have 27 points. Although this season's league table seems to be very technical, very close mathematically. Remo started half 36, just 2 points ahead of the second place Rivers United, 34. Third place Shooting Stars, 33, just 1 between them. And then you look at the 4th team, Rangers International, having 31. And you look at the 5th team, 29, El Kanemi Warriors, Ikorodu City, 28. Enyimba 27, Abia Warriors 27, and Kwara United that will be playing against Enyimba, they are having 23. So it's very, very tough and dicey this season that almost all the clubs are so close, very, very close.
The surprising thing is Ikorodu City. Ikorodu of yesterday.
That's
because they actually started fall, you know, and people actually wrote them off. But you can imagine Ikorodu is even ahead of some of these big teams, you know. So, but I think Enyimba is going to win their outstanding matches and try to see if they can stay at the top 3.
But sincerely, this is a very tough one for some of these clubs. Lobby Stars, Akwa United, Nasarawa United. Looking at the deduction again, that's a huge one. Well, as it is, 3 of them going under infraction point deduction. 3 goals for infraction. But at the middle of the table, you look at from 10 to, let's say, 16, 10 to 16, 24, Niger Tornadoes, Bayelsa United, Kwara United, 25, 24, 24, 23, 23, 22. It's so close that just a point can jump you over. Then another, if you actually have a deficit, you are down. If you have a plus, you are up. And if you look at the gap from the mid-tables now, Kano Pillars, number 9, having 25, down to number 14, even number 15, they're having 21. So the gap is not much, 25 to 21, just 4 points. From from number 9 to number 16, just 4 points.
I think for now, you can't even write off anything because football, there's what we call comeback. You know, most of these teams might actually get it wrong during their first half of the season, and going into the second half of the season, the coaches, the technical committee will have looked at their loopholes and see how they can, correct their mistakes. So for now, I think every other team from 10th to 20, you can't even write them off. Don't be surprised at the end of the day if you see Nasarawa ending at the 10th. And people like Lobby Stars and Aqua, their experience side too, and seeing those people are the 8-6 dropping points. So I think, from my own experience as a coach, for now you don't write anybody off. What we just have to pray for is that may the best team that is going to represent us at the CAF level, give us their best.
Now, seriously, experience can still come for Nasarawa, Aqua, Lobby to move ahead on that particular log table that we just touched there. And seriously, we need teams that can do well at the CAF Interclub competition, because if you look at what is happening right now, only Eyimba is actually left. All the other teams are out. So we need teams that can withstand the heat at the CAF Interclub. And that's why the dominance from the North African side have been very, very strong. You notice that it's not Al Ahly, it's not Zamalek, it's not AS Tunis, all these clubs from Morocco, Tunisia, Algeria, and Egypt. And then slightly tilting down to South Africa, you have Mamelodi, Orlando, and all, maybe TP Mazembe, and all that. So it has always been the North African side, because they know the business, they know what it takes to maintain that consistency of doing well at the CAF Interclub. And that's what we need now. West African football, no matter how talented human resources that we have, we need to find a way to develop and continue to begins to win this CAF Interclub. We have more coefficient, and also be able to stand the heat from the North African side. It's becoming worrisome. You hear all the clubs from the West African side. By the time you check, after the first stanza, second stanza, they are all out. You won't find any of them again. You discover that Asante Kotoko, anything from Nigeria, no team from Ghana, no team from Cote d'Ivoire. You'll be wondering what's happening to West African football. And then you check, you'll be seeing about 14 from Egypt, 3 from Morocco, 2 from Algeria, still standing. Then, like I said, maybe slightly tilt towards South Africa. Although you go to Congo, Mazembe, even though they are not doing so well, then you begin to wonder, even Sudan, Al Hilal, they are also doing well. What's happening to our leagues in West Africa? That when it comes to CAF Interclub, they are always found wanting.
Yeah, sorry to say this, I'm very proud of Nigerian League, and I'm happy with the way things are going. But I think we should also start looking at age. You can't expect a player of 30 years, 35 years, outrunning a player of 17, 18 years old, or 19, 20 years. So I think age is another factor, because I was opportune to watch, I think that was 2 seasons ago, when Plateau United were playing the CAF African League. You see that the people that came from Tunisia, you were faster than our players. It was difficult for some of our players to even sprint. So I think those things actually tell us, yes, they can play, they have the ball sense and every other thing, but
the speed.
Football, look at
you can't cheat that
football,
age.
Age, it will definitely tell on you. So we should look at age. That is one error that I cited a long time ago.
Okay. Well, talking about that, we just hope that everything goes well with Nigeria or West African football, league football, so that we can do well quickly. Our time is running up. Let's look at the Premier League. Well, it was a big one. Nottingham Forest really came with their Forest against Liverpool. Looking at that story there, the result of all the matches played yesterday, 2-2 Man City, Brentford, was as if they had meeting. Chelsea, Bournemouth 2-2. And you look at West Ham did well, 3-2 defeating Fulham despite the Wolves' brace. And you look at Liverpool against Nottingham Forest. What really, yesterday was like a meeting of draws.
I really don't know what happened. I think maybe they had a family meeting. Because most of us were not really happy. Especially the likes of me, I love Chelsea. I really want Chelsea to get 3 points. But so far so good. I think if you do well, if you prepare well, you win well. And if you are not well prepared, you face the consequences.
A big one there, having to look at that result. Nottingham Forest are really surprising everyone. Touching on the way the team is right now. For Jota, he ends a Liverpool draw at high-flying Forest. They are not giving up at all. Let's quickly touch on the table. As it is right now, Nottingham Forest surprisingly are second on the law, 41, 1 point ahead of Arsenal. Chelsea with 37 points. Chelsea blew yesterday. They should have won that game.
I'm telling you.
Okay, Liverpool are top there with 6 points ahead of Nottingham Forest, who are really doing the 1970s and 1980s against Liverpool. That was the story. But as it is right now, big one between Liverpool, Nottingham Forest, Arsenal and Chelsea. This season is going to be a bomb because it's really down to the wires among all the clubs. Just to have a touch of the Premier League game that was played yesterday. All right, now we talk about our own man. The man that has been playing football for a while, but this time around he was able to score yesterday for his team Valencia. Talking about Sadiq Umar. Sadiq Umar was able to score after about 312 days that he couldn't score in the Copa del Rey match that was played yesterday. Let's have that particular story there. Copa del Rey, Sadiq Umar he was able to score, breaking 311-day streak. He has not scored at all, but that's a good one. At least finally he was able to make it.
Yeah, I'm happy for Sadiq Umar. He's a very skillful player. You know, he's a go-getter and he's always hungry. One thing I love about him is his discipline. You can never see him on social media ranting. You can never see him having issues with any coach. Even at his former club, I think Real Sociedad, if I'm not mistaken, he was one of the most patient player ever. You know, sometimes players do have their off days and they do have their on days. It happens to some great stars that we all know. Look at the days of Shevchenko, almighty Shevchenko. When he came to Chelsea, look at Torres. So sometimes it's just one of those things you have to pass through as a player. And I believe that now that he has redefined, he has broken the jinx, I believe from now he should start banging at tricks.
Hopefully we'll continue to score more goals. Actually, that happened in Copa del Rey, making it 2-1 in favor of that team, and they were able to make it. Congrats to Sadiq Umar starting to bang in more goals there. We congratulate him, and hopefully we'll continue to score more goals. Alongside Awoni also was able to do his own. At least hopefully they will continue to score more goals right now. Before we go, we'll just touch on two things. How is Refine Academy coaches? Because I know that when it comes to kids, to some extent, we know that it's always good to catch them young.
Yeah, you know, it has always been, my passion has always been to develop grassroots football and to redefine the career of these young lads and to also make them believe that, yes, they can make it. You know, education is the key, education is number one, but sometimes to talent, you know. In short, now, the world now is all about talent, you know. Sometimes if you're not good at your academics, you just have to, you know, utilize the skills that God has given you, which is your talent, and work towards it with dedication, commitment, hard work, and focus, and staying out of trouble, you know. That is the only way, this is the way I encourage these kids, that with all of this, once there is dedication, hard work, focus, putting God first, and staying out of trouble, you're going to make it to the top.
Seriously, you look at these talented kids there playing football. Even, I can see a lady there, a young girl rather.
Favor is a player Nigeria need to watch out for. And I also have another one, Mimi, the first Muslim player I ever worked with. She's still a young girl, 7-year-old. And I think the future is bright for these kids.
Looking at those young lads there, and also last is not forgetting that we have girls who also participate in that particular academy. Hopefully it get better and we get to see a lot of talented players. Before we go, let's just touch on the NBA results. Some games we played earlier today. Well, the fire over there in LA has actually affected some clubs from participating, especially Los Angeles Lakers and also the other team there. Well, as it is, looking at the result, Oklahoma City Thunder 118 against Philadelphia 76ers as they won that game by extra 16 points. Cleveland Cavaliers won by extra 10 points to defeat Indiana Pacers 127-117. Phoenix Suns, they lost against Atlanta Hawks 170-122, while Milwaukee Bucks did extra 15 points to defeat Sacramento Kings in that game over there in Milwaukee. Chicago Bulls 113, 6 points they actually lagged behind New Orleans Pelicans, who scored 119, and Denver Nuggets did 118 against Dallas Mavericks, scored 99. Before Portland Trail Blazers had 114, and Brooklyn Nets, they actually got 132. Well, for Los Angeles Lakers and LA Clippers, because of the fire there, coming back to play is a very, very painful one. Looking at what happened in Los Angeles, and as it says, all the players are really hoping things go well. It's also so painful about how it goes out to the entire city of Los Angeles. There has to do with the NBA players there. Well, we've been with Coach Unamba Raphael, who has been with us in the studio. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
It's always a pleasure to be here, and I'm grateful.
Hopefully Nigeria will get a good draw today for the CHAN.
Hopefully, we pray so.
Okay, that's it on the show. 360 Sport on Trust TV from the entire crew that's made it happen. I always tell you that sport is business and fitness. I'm Adeniyi Aji Shafe. Thanks for watching.